door. I can't even find the price tag. You want to take it down? No, because I can't reach it. I feel like I'm moving so fast, but I know I'm not. Oh my god, a bug just hit me in the face. There's hills everywhere.
We don't have stairs in front of our store.
It's all about the thrust. It is.
What's up, guys, and welcome to my very first YouTube video. And I have a special guest, my friend Hannah.
Hi, I'm Hannah.
And we filmed a very exciting video for you all today. Hannah decided to take on the challenge of doing a day in the life of a wheelchair user, and we had a day.
Oh, you see that crazy turn? Oh, collision. He leads away. Oh boy. Oh, I just caught some air. What I put you through? Literally, like, haven't seen me in months show up and here's a workout. Okay. With a flat tire.
Before you took on this challenge, can you share a little bit what your experience was previous with being in a wheelchair?
I feel like the most that I had really been in a wheelchair is honestly just doing wheelies and yours. Actually, like, functionality wise of using a wheelchair, I've never been in one. Broken ankles and been pushed around hospitals, but
Yeah.
I've never actually like gone in public in a wheelchair.
Okay. Do you know how to use my brakes?
No idea.
Okay, well, let's talk about how when we first got there, you had no idea what you were getting into, because I thought I explained it and I thought I explained what exactly we're filming, but she got really confused when I pulled out two wheelchairs.
And I showed up and found out that we did go to Plaza,
Yeah.
but in a wheelchair.
Use the hill and the gravity of the hill to motion you, so you're barely gonna just hold on. So don't push unless you have to like initiate the movement. Okay. Why don't I go straight left?
I was using my friend's loaner chair the entire time, and I gave her my chair because I know that this one is more for people who have been in the chair for a while and know their balance points with it. My chair, since it's my first wheelchair, was more accustomed to the newly injured. And when I brought it to her,
I only went
I
left.
don't even know.
I
Yeah.
could only go left.
Does that just mean I'm not pushing with my left hand?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This is gonna be a workout.
When I was looking at it, I was like, well, the sidewalk is at an angle, so it makes sense. I looked at her tire and I was like, oh no.
Oh yeah. I think this is my wheelchair. Well, this is even more of a challenge. Your wheels really flat. Got it.
But right when we got there, our first stop was at a coffee shop. When I brought her in, I was like, do you want to try to open the door by yourself, or do you want me to like kind of show you, and then you can learn from this as we go along to different stores you can, you know, open.
Can I go and get the door for you?
Oh my god, thank you. So, you're ready?
I showed her just like my step-by-step of what I do and how I make sure that my wheelchair, when swinging the door open, doesn't get in the way. Tell us like a little bit of experience of like when you first opened a door. Did you think it was difficult? What were the like problems that you ran into?
I truthfully think doors were the hardest part of the entire day. When I normally just go to grab a door, I have my feet grounded. So like when I pull, I don't pull myself forwards.
That's true.
But anytime I was in the chair and I reached for a handle and pulled, all that would happen is I just yanked myself forward. So it was very difficult for me to figure out how to keep the wheels still, pull the door towards me, and like navigate.
You could lock them and then potentially like open the door, but
That'd be a lot of work to do
It
every
would be,
time, especially
yeah.
if you have your hands full. You can't just pull it, because then you pull straight into yourself. So you have to like move your chair back as the door is opening, and then while holding it open, somehow wheel back to the other side of the door. I thought that I would be smart and get an iced coffee so I could get a lid and a straw. Already I spill everything, so straws are always a good option for me. I don't even know what those lids are called, but like the new coffee lids that don't put a straw in for an iced coffee.
basically look like a hot coffee lid.
And they don't have a stopper. An even bigger spill opportunity. I'm pretty sure I spilled more than I drank, honestly. And I got a large, so that's saying a lot.
After that, she had a little bit of Christmas shopping to do, so we went to a store. While we were making our way to the store, actually, we wanted to get a sip of your coffee. I want to just bring up the awareness of like, you can't push and drink. You have to like fully stop because your hands are constantly occupied.
Keep in mind, my wheelchair went left anyways.
Yes.
But I decided to use my right hand to drink. Picked it up and I just pushed with my left and just turned immediately, started spinning, lost control, almost fell out of the chair, had to cheat and use my feet to stop myself. And I realized very quickly I could not drink while trying to push a wheelchair.
With crossing the street, did you have like any fears, or were you a little nervous? That whole process of, you know, being so low and then making sure that you have to look for like bumps on the road.
It was definitely very, very nerve-wracking in the sense of I knew that I was low, so I was like, it's possible some people don't see me, and also I was moving a lot slower than everyone else. Especially, I was moving very slow. I was really struggling to cross. Especially the first time, that was the worst. Since the crosswalk is part of the road, so there were potholes, there was gravel everywhere, not at all smooth.
We went to a store, and what did we encounter?
Stairs, just to get inside.
Oh, how do you use stairs here?
I know that there are stairs everywhere because I use stairs all the time, but I've never actually thought about like stairs outside of the store because I just walk into the store.
I asked you right when you saw the stairs, what were your options that you had, and you gave me 2 options.
Try and figure out a way to get up the stairs by yourself, which
How
feel
would
like,
you do that?
truthfully could not tell you. I was like, just kidding, I know that's not gonna work. My next thought was, we'll just have someone help you, which seems like super easy, but it's also, what if you're by yourself and you don't just have someone there to help you?
What if they drop me? What if they don't do it right? What if I fall? What if they kidnap me? A lot of things that you have to keep in mind when you ask for people's help. I asked her that question just so I can get her like a feel of what would you do if this was your everyday life? Like if you were by yourself, I don't want to give you the answers of how I would do it. But she gave me those 2 options. She couldn't think of anything more, so I gave her my answer. What I would do is call the store and see if they have an available ramp that they can lay out or some kind of back door or something. So we called the store and you called the wrong number.
I did, I called the wrong store.
We don't have stairs in front of our store.
Very possible I called the wrong.
And so we called the right store. What did they tell us?
They did have the option to give us a second entrance that we had to go to, and we had to wait and meet them at the door, but it did take a few minutes.
So I shopped in the store several times and I knew exactly how to get in and out. The employee actually informed us that they have a ramp that they're building, that they're in the works of.
Yeah.
She apologized. She was super sweet.
super sweet.
She was like, I'm so sorry for the inconvenience and that you have to go around, not like the same entry as other customers would. What was your experience like while shopping from a different playing field?
I could not reach anything. And even like the lowest shelves, I had a problem like even reading a price tag or a size.
I can't even find the price tag. You want to take it down? No, because I can't reach it.
This store had 2 levels and or maybe they had like
3.
3. They had like 3. So we used the stair lift.
Not until like we used it and I showed up, and that's when I was like, oh wait, I've seen this here before. I just didn't know that that's what it was. I kind of just walked by it without a second thought.
With like shelves and racks being everywhere, tell us a little bit about that.
That was probably the most frustrating part of the day. I just couldn't move around freely without backing into something, turning and hitting something. I needed a very large path to make sure I didn't hit stuff. And that's just not something that was very common in stores, which I never really think about because I just walk around. And if I need to turn around, I can just turn.
Yeah.
But I had to be doing whole like 12-point turns just to try and get to another shelf, and it was just so frustrating because it made everything take so much longer. I was expecting our shopping trip to be like maybe 30 minutes in and out of the store. We were probably there for an hour and a half to 2 hours. Just because
I didn't even think about that.
Just because I could not get around the store.
Yeah. Which they got like a lot better with COVID and trying to kind of keep that distance apart.
I cannot imagine.
It's been so convenient. I mean, not convenient because we're in a pandemic, but it just so happened to be in addition to like making wheelchair users' lives easier. So you bought a couple of things, and when you got to the cash register, tell us a little bit about the difference of height when paying.
Especially with, COVID right now, they have all the plastic guards and you can't move the card readers So I had to try and reach to pay, didn't know where to put my card, struggled to reach it, and she had to help me.
So there's no hope for me reaching this one.
So after we went to that store, we went to another clothing store, and this day the weather was very nice, so all the stores had their doors open, which was very convenient for Hannah, because I really wanted to show her like difficulties when opening a door, and especially with the next clothing store that we went to, I knew that it was going to be like a pretty heavy door.
Very heavy door.
I feel like this is about to be like a disaster, honestly.
I actually think my like serotonin levels increased when I saw the open door. Truthfully,
You're like,
I was like, "Thank you."
it was a pretty big door.
And I saw it was open. I was like, "Got me, you got me."
This store, along with the other one, had 2 levels. This one had escalators and an elevator. I knew exactly where the elevator was, but I was like, she needs to feel the struggle of like going through the entire store just to find the elevator.
Hannah's gonna lead the way, and we're gonna try to find an elevator right now.
But to be fair, this store in particular, their elevator wasn't in the store, like in between the doors.
It was like close to an exit.
When we opened the doors, the alarms went off because we left the store, but I was just trying to go to the 2nd floor of the store, so then every single person stared at me as the alarms are blaring.
By the time we got to the store, it was like 3 hours later, and we've been pushing around all along the streets, all around the sidewalks, to stores, different places, and I asked her on the spot, I was like, let me see your sleeves. I already know she was wearing a white long sleeve top. I already knew. The second I saw her come out of her car just for this day, I was like, oh no, she's wearing a white top. Which I was wearing a white top too, but
mine, so I was wearing like a loose baggy
Yeah.
sweater. Bad idea.
yeah, when you looked at your sleeves.
They were black.
I'm gonna see your sleeves. Oh, I didn't even realize that. Yeah, she ruined.
All the sleeves completely black, both of the sides were black from where they had rolled over and had been hitting the wheels.
After my injury, I feel like my wardrobe shifted and changed a little bit. I would say like a lot of my outfits are now either cropped or it's tight fitted. I love wearing white. White's such a good color. I don't like to limit myself on what exactly I want to wear, but I do try to be a little smart about what's gonna stain, what's gonna last. How many times do you think you spilled your coffee?
Okay, so I spilled my coffee probably at least once every 5 minutes. Not until I was checking out at the 2nd store did I really spill my coffee.
It's just spilled everywhere.
But I realized it took me forever to drink my coffee because I never just stopped to drink it.
Had a chance, yeah.
So most of it was just me spilling it throughout the day, waiting for it to get low enough to not spill anymore, which never actually happened because I ended up just dropping it.
Which I have cup holders, but not everyone has that option, so I didn't want to give her one and then just have like that, you know,
Make it
choice.
easy.
After this store, it was already like a couple hours later. It was getting dark. I think we were like wrapping up the day, but we needed to go and find a bathroom.
By the time we were leaving the final store, I had to go to the bathroom so bad. Most stores do not actually have bathrooms. So not only was it a problem for us to find a store with an open bathroom, but when we did, it was very far away. Her nephew earlier had gone to the bathroom and he was able to just run out the store, run down the street, go to the bathroom, come back. I was thinking, yeah, I'm about to do the same thing. Instead, I probably took us like 25 minutes to get to the bathroom. So that was another amount of time I had to wait. We both had to use a handicap stall. And so then that meant that there was only one restroom available for us to use. I went up to the sink to wash my hands. Thankfully, they did have like the sink cut out so you could wheel the chair underneath the sink and reach it better.
That's so important.
But after I had washed my hands and I was ready to dry them, I instinctively just went to my side to grab some paper towels and they weren't there. The paper towels in this restroom were actually on the other wall by the door. You can just take a step and grab them, but when you're in a wheelchair, you have to push yourself over there. Well, my hands were soaking wet because I hadn't gotten to the paper towels yet. So I got my wheels and my rims soaking wet to push myself over there. And then I had to dry the wheels and my hands. So I never thought about that.
And you're back with like square one with your hands being dirty. At the end of the day, the second I go home, I'm literally right in bed because I'm like, I need to lay down, I need to like go on my stomach and like,
And just straighten out and let everything extend. what I think is like if I really want to just like I can stand up, stretch out, sit right back down.
Yeah.
And I did not do that at all that day. And I didn't really think about how often I do that until I stopped. And then I was like, wow, I really wish that I could just stretch.
So as we were heading back to our car in the parking lot, we were trying to cross the street, but there was a bunch of traffic at night. When the stoplight turned red, a car was like halfway on a cross street.
They were about to turn right.
Yeah.
So they were blocking the ramp to like wheel yourself down onto the crosswalk, which normally I would just walk around. I could just step down and we couldn't do that and we just had to wait.
So trying to go completely around the car and onto the street, basically.
Yeah, basically
and then
just
back to
wheeling ourselves through the middle of an intersection. And then there were some crosswalks that didn't even have a ramp.
Yes.
So we didn't
Glad
even
you
have.
noticed that.
Yes, we didn't even have an option of using that. There was a crosswalk, would have been like the perfect location, very
For us to cross the
convenient,
street,
right
yeah.
where we needed to cross. We had to go way out of our way to find the next crosswalk with a ramp.
So we talked about what your experience was prior to this. Can you just tell us like how it has shifted and changed?
I've become a lot more aware.
In what way would you explain?
I think more in the sense of like how easy my life is, but also how many things that are out there that are actually like very, very inconvenient for a lot of people. Most people don't even give a second thought. I understand we have come a long way and there is a lot of stuff with the ADA, but there's also so much more that still needs to be done because like I'm not gonna lie, that day was hard. And small things that they do that they don't think of that are making it harder. Like if they moved a rack over and they don't put it back, well then that's in our way.
Do you think that it was more difficult physically or emotionally?
Ooh.
That was a good one.
Truthfully, would say physically it hurt. My arms burn, my back is tired, but honestly it was much more of an emotional, mental battle that I was having. There was frustration, anger, a lot of emotion problems that were like, oh, this is making me so angry, this is making me so frustrated, why can't I just do this?
Discouraged, yes.
Discouragement, and a mental of why are all of these people staring at me? Like the physical aspect was, like it was exhausting, I was sore, still sore in my left forearm.
I brought you in and I gave you such a big glimpse of what it's like, but there's also secondary complications that come into our daily living. Spasms. I just had a spasm.
I saw that.
Some people have difficulty regulating blood pressure, so that's like a key factor that they
Blood
have to
clots.
think about. Blood clots, getting that kind of
Circulation.
circulation going through our legs.
You have to like look and inspect your legs on a daily basis to make sure
Yes.
that you are not injured, because you
Yes.
can't just, oh, do I feel pain? It's I need to look and observe and see and feel. That's something that I don't even think about, is you could have an injury and just not know.
This was a lot of perspective that brought into your life now. What is one thing that you will take away from this experience?
A newfound appreciation, and like in multiple aspects, because I have a newfound appreciation for any person in a wheelchair. It was so difficult that they really do not get the recognition. No one thinks about how hard it is. And it also gave me a lot of appreciation for what I do have. I might be complaining, oh, I'm tired because I had to walk up 30 stairs. Like on that day, I was like, I can't even go up one. Like I've been there through you for the whole journey. I've seen it secondhand.
Yes.
So I've known of struggles and battles. I never thought it was easy, but I've never really known firsthand.
It's like a whole different world, and you know the ins and outs of everything, so. Yeah, well, thank you so much for being here,
You're
for
welcome.
doing this. I'm so glad that you were able to take on this challenge and
Me too.
experience everything that goes in our world. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be coming out with new videos soon. Hopefully I'm going to make a lot more like this, where I'm going to bring on different people at different locations, just get a little insight of everything that goes on in our world. Bye guys!
Bye.